Have you ever fasted before? I mean, like really fasted. Maybe you've been thinking about doing a fast, but you don't know where to start. Maybe you want to lose a few pounds, detox your body, or you want to simply draw closer to God, which is the most important kind of fast. So fasting means different things to different people, but for me, it's become something a little deeper than just a trend or like a challenge. So this week I decided to take on a 36-hour dry fast. No food, no water, and before you think I'm crazy, I know everybody was telling me, that a couple people that I told in my Bible study were like, you're dry fasting, you're gonna die, blah, blah, blah. But there's actually a lot of science behind fasting and like autophagy, where your body actually begins to cleanse and repair itself at the cellular level. It supports healing, it boosts energy, it gives you your digestive system like a break for a little while. But for me, it's not just about health, it's about humility. It's about quieting the noise, laying down distractions like food, and positioning my heart to hear from God and hear Him like more clearly. In Scripture, fasting is a way to humble ourselves before the Lord, to seek His face, and to align our soul and our spirit, soul, and body. So I realized that fasting isn't just something that we should do, but it's on occasion, but it's actually something that we get to do as believers. It's a way to cleanse, not just physically, but spiritually. In this video, I'm sharing my experience through this 36-hour dry fast, what I felt, what I learned, and why I want to make fasting a regular rhythm in my life. I'm also doing this for accountability, to be honest, for documentation, to look back on my own journey, but also to inspire you to maybe consider fasting for yourself. You know, whether you're seeking physical healing, spiritual breakthrough, or you just simply want to reset for your body and your soul, this might just be what you've been needing. So, listen, give it a chance, and I hope I inspire you and give you some advice. So let's journey into my 36-hour dry fast and what happened, how I prepared, and the surprising things that God showed me along the way. Hey, so today I'm diving into another dry fast. I attempted and I completed my first dry fast ever about 2 weeks ago. It went really well, actually. I mentally was prepared for it, spiritually I was prepared for it, and I was doing it for spiritual ends, physical healing too for my body, which I guess goes hand in hand as well. But I was fasting and praying the whole time, and I was aiming for 24 hours, and I went about 3 hours over, so it's like 27. A lot of that was sleeping, which was great. So if you ever want to do a dry fast or a water fast, I suggest allotting in some time for sleep, and definitely doing it on days where you don't have a lot going on and you're not going to be really, really stressed out. I did do it while I was working. I am a teacher with high school kids, but like I said, I really mentally prepared myself. I prepared my lessons ahead of time to make my day as easy as it could possibly be. And like I said, it was pretty successful. And that was after I actually prepared for, I had done a 3-day water fast about 2 weeks before that. And same story, I really prepared mentally for it, spiritually, prayed about it. And I went into it with a mindset knowing that I was going to finish it. And, I really didn't face too many issues. I typically eat pretty healthy to begin with. And I do consume a good amount of caffeine though throughout my day. So that was one thing that people say you can go through caffeine withdrawals, get severe headaches and feel horrible. But I didn't even focus on that. I just really didn't even want to worry about what's going to happen. I kept my mind focused on just the spiritual aspect of it, that God can strengthen me to do anything and I can get through it. And He gave me my body to heal. And throughout the whole Bible, Jesus tells us to, even in the Old Testament, Jesus was in the Old Testament, foreshadowing, but He always told us to pray and fast. And throughout history, since beginning of time, man has prayed and fasted for many different reasons. And especially for health reasons, and just not having enough food and having to fast, and people's bodies were healed through fasting. And science is showing how powerful fasting is really, and how important it is to heal our microbiome and all that. But that's another, you could do that, all of videos about that. But anyway, so I started my dry fast last night at around 8:30 p.m. I was planning on doing it around 7 and stopping drinking and eating. but that didn't happen. I had a later dinner than expected with my husband, so I ended up starting around 8:30. I didn't have any more water. Sorry, my camera's folding over. And my plan is to go, since I did a water fast for 24 hours once, and I felt like I could go a little bit longer. Plan is to go to about tomorrow morning, which is Friday morning, and break the fast around 8:30 a.m. So that would be 8:30 to 8:30 would be 24 hours, and another 12 hours. So that'd be 36 hours. And a lot of that is sleep. So like I said, count in the sleeping hours, and it's not as bad as it sounds like it is if you're doing a 36-hour dry fast. So yeah, so then so I previously did a 3-day water fast, which that really prepared me to do a dry fast for 24 hours. And the 3-day water fast, I did drink just water. I didn't have any black coffee or any teas or anything else. I just had water, and I added a little sea salt, like pink Himalayan sea salt, to the water about once or twice a day, just a little bit. And then I did have my magnesium supplements and my potassium supplements, because if those get depleted, you can get like muscle pains and headaches and leg shaking, and some people that aren't used to fasting at all should definitely build up to a 3-day fast, especially a 3-day water fast, because you can get severe headaches, and you can even have, some people that are really out of shape or not really healthy can have like organ damage and a lot of things that happen. So you might want to consult your doctor. I am not a medical professional, so you might want to, especially if you have health ailments and any kind of medical conditions, definitely maybe talk to your doctor beforehand. But then again, many doctors are not pro fasting. I wonder why, because it's free, and it's a free way to heal your body. And you don't need anything really to go along with it. Maybe just a little salt in your water if you're doing water fasting. So I highly recommend it. My first experience with the water fast, I felt kind of like serene. I had so much less anxiety. I attribute that to not having so much caffeine that I usually have throughout the day. Like I usually wake up and immediately have coffee, and then I immediately feel jittery, but a little bit more awake. So I might consider stop doing that and not having coffee right when I wake up on an empty stomach, moving forward with my life. But I definitely felt more peaceful. But then again, I did take myself out of the world a lot. Like I didn't go to the gym after work. I went home. I didn't overwhelm myself with a ton of things to do. And I did go on some nice long walks. That's really good for you to get out there and walk. It also speeds up your autophagy. It's a hard word to say sometimes. Autophagy, that's when your cells start eating themselves. It's like cannibalism for your cells, and it overturns all the bad cells and even the big C word cells. But it eats the cells, and it kind of like recycles them, but everything in your body gets, all the bad cells get kind of like since there's nothing in your stomach to eat anymore in your gut, eventually you get into autophagy phase, and then so that's how you start healing. Your body starts healing and regenerating new cells. But this video isn't really about going into the science of it all. It was more about me explaining my process of the water fast and just kind of documenting this as I go along until tomorrow morning. So if you're considering a water fast, just maybe do a regular intermittent fasting first if you never have done any kind of fasting, and then maybe build up to longer intervals of not eating and intermittent fasting. So maybe you go from like 12 hours to 18 hours, and then you increase that gap of time in your day to you really, 18 hours is kind of long. You can go to 20 hours and have a 4-hour eating window. But you don't even have to prepare that much. If you could just try intermittent fasting at first for a little while, see how your body reacts to not eating for a longer period of time than you're used to. And then you can go to maybe a 1-day fast of like just no food and just have like water, teas, coffees. And then you could try increasing that to like a 36-hour fast, same deal. 2-day fast with no food, 3-day fast with no food. So your body just has to gradually build up to getting used to not eating, and then you'll start feeling a lot better too. It's amazing. Like you could probably think to yourself, like when you eat a large meal or a lot of sugar or anything, like you feel kind of junky afterwards. Or if you have a lunch break, and then after your lunch break you get sleepy. I sure do. I have to move around after I eat, or else I'll get really sleepy. I can even like just fall asleep. So, but yeah, you want to cut down on the carbs too if you're preparing for a fast. Definitely like cut down on your sugar intake and carbs to prepare your body to be more efficient during the fasting, and just make your life a lot easier too. So yeah, so I started at 8:30 last night, and it's now about 10:15 a.m. So I'm doing okay. I'm a little sluggish in my classroom right now. I'm on my break. I have a very early lunch break. And yeah, so I will keep you posted on the next few hours, maybe tonight. Take care. Bye.